Skyrim is coming up on its 11th birthday this year, and so the time comes around when you might want to jump back in and re-experience the game all over again. Well, today, the time has finally come, where I'm going to give you my entire mod list, updated to the very best visual standard for a next-gen game in 2022. And you can see by the length of the video, I'm going to try and cut the fluff as much as possible and give you a quick, condensed list of my entire visual mod list built on the anniversary edition of Skyrim. So let's cut the intro short and jump into my 2022 Skyrim mod list.
I choose this as our goal.
Creatures of Nurn.
All men are kings. If he breeds, he is sin.
Not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Not Samson and Broom, all right? Bone bed.
A massive thanks to Warhammer, Chaos and Conquest for supporting the channel by sponsoring this video. Chaos and Conquest is the ultimate strategy and domination MMO mobile game available on iOS, Android and Windows. Devote yourself to one of the 4 Chaos gods, choose between Khorne, Nurgle, Slaanesh or Tzeentch, and immerse yourself in the classic lore of Warhammer fantasy battles by building and training powerful armies that will help you protect your foes and crush your enemies. You can set up your army, level up and upgrade your warlords with special equipment and skills, choosing from more than 30 different demons and warriors of chaos. Participate in side quests, special events and daily challenges to claim bonuses. Complete battle and defense rituals to boost your attack and defense, helping you to conquer and slay other armies to receive rewards. Engage in the realm battle and get a taste of the real-time strategy MMO experience. Climb the leaderboard and claim the Chaos Legion Master title and become the Ever Chosen. Download now by clicking the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on screen. Huge thanks to Warhammer Chaos and Conquest for supporting the channel, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, I'm going to present this list in basically the order in which I've built my mod list, so for those who know less about modding, take the order I present the mods in as sort of a rough guideline for what order to download and organise your list. So we'll jump right in by buckling down on our weather and lighting mods, and right now my unbeaten combination of choice lies with the godly synergy of Picho EMB with Azerite weathers. Which yes, took me by surprise too, as I never knew that Azerite was even a contender with Obsidian and Cathedral weathers. But combined with the Picho EMB, it creates a fantastic bright atmosphere that really makes the colours pop, with its weathers feeling impactful and dense. And its dozens of beautiful features, such as the occasional pink sunset you can get in certain regions. Its rain makes the world look actually wet and gloomy, while its clear skies paint a fantastic vista to enhance Skyrim's mountains. It not only, in my opinion, tonally has the best weathers I've seen to date, but the actual quality of the combination is second to none, with really not that big of a performance drop compared to other more advanced EMBs of a similar quality. But now we have the very basic exterior weather combination set up, we need to give our interior locations the same treatment, using Lux. Probably hands down the most advanced and best looking interior lighting overhaul for Skyrim, casting realistic window shadows that bring a special type of ambience to every single interior location. The author also tackled exterior locations too, first with its sister mod, Lux Orbis, designed to smooth out those harsh outside lights, but also the newer Lux Via, which aims to add more creative light sources to the roads of Skyrim. But that's not the only mods in this list. EMB Light to give realistic lighting to spells and torches, EVLAS, which syncs sky lighting and shadows with the sun and moon, volumetric mists in order to add some depth, Obsidian Mountain Fog to further enhance Skyrim's mountain, and finally 4K stars and galaxies to tie together our atmospherics. But when it comes to modding Skyrim's environments, weather, lighting and atmospherics is only half of the picture. Flora is vital too, so we'll start with Folkvanger, a grass mod which I think I've shown off more times than any other mod on this channel thus far, and looks incredible with this EMB setup. But what about the trees? Well, for starter, I'm using Bulbo's Pine Tree Replacer, combined with his other mods such as his aspen tree replacer for a beautiful autumn rift. Flubbo's Markarth aims to spice up the Dwemer city with tall pine trees, and the reach replacer makes the area more bearable in my opinion. Flubbo's new Whiterun adds some trees to the inside of the city, whereas the deity tree of Kinnereth sits lonesome in the tundra plains. And finally, I'm using happy little tree snow pines to populate my icy forest. And final note on trees, I'm also using the less vanilla trees mod to thin the herds a little, mostly in the Rift, Reach and Whiterun, so keep that in mind. But now, the water. And still to this day, water for E and B is my mod of choice, coming in 3 different colours: blue, a greener version if you prefer, or my personal choice, the teal version. But whichever you choose, water for E and B still stands out to me as the best water mod I've seen for Skyrim thus far, and looks incredible paired with the vibrance of Pecho E&B and Azurite weathers. And now with that, we have all our general environments completely revamped and overhauled. So it's time to turn to which texture mods I use in my game to get the look you are seeing on screen. Now we'll start with my big base texture packs, which mostly get overwritten further down the line, but it covers a large basis, so it's good to do anyway. And to start, we have my trusty Skyrim 2018, 2019 and 2020. 3 mods which combined pretty much retexture almost every main landscape and architecture you'll encounter, giving your game a much needed facelift from its vanilla counterparts. But while it does cover a lot, there are some mods I install afterwards to overwrite certain aspects, starting with Majestic Mountains, a texture replacer for, well, all the mountains in the game, and honestly just makes them look more detailed and pleasant to look at. Next we'll cover some architecture focused textures with Noble Skyrim, a mod which changes a lot, but the main reason I can never drop this mod is that its stone and wood textures just look so much cleaner and less harsh than Skyrim 2020's, and it does this across the board, fixing a lot of the dark harsh textures that don't really mesh well with this high contrast E&B setup, and really just smoothing everything out in order for architecture to be more easy on the eye. Next is a mod to overhaul the textures of all the caves you can find across Skyrim, as you're going to be seeing quite a few of them in your playthrough. Clever Chaff's Cave is so far my favourite looking texture replacer for the stony cave walls, by keeping more consistency than was previously there, while also just creating a nice atmosphere for the level design to shine in these locations. But now let's look towards the main cities of the province, beginning with Solitude, with the mod by the same author, Solitude HD by Clever Chaff, which is always a must download for me every time I build a list, as I really prefer the smoother, more noble look to Solitude rather than the harsh bumpy tone that lay in vanilla. And even the Blue Palace looks a lot nicer too. And overall this is just a must-have mod for me every time. And speaking of must-have mods, another more recent mod which has took me by surprise is WizKid's texture replacer for both Riften and the Ratway, which has a similar effect to the Solitude one in a way, smoothing out a bunch of the textures and giving the area a more pleasant tone, and actually leaning into the autumn full colour palette more with some more browner sandstone-esque walls, which I really like. And I can't express enough how this mod combined with the clearer skies and Azurite made me actually like being in Riften for once. And if you saw one of my recent videos where I highlighted a collection of mods to overhaul Markarth and its outskirts, you'll probably be familiar with the next mod, which goes by the name of MRF's Markarth, a texture and in some cases mesh replacer for all of Markarth's architecture along with all the Dwemer ruins, giving them a more ancient Aztec sort of tone, which I really like. And in addition, I'm also using the gold version of Dwemer Pipework reworked, as it gives all the golden accents of Markarth a shinier gold buff, and really helps to solve some of the fatigue I had of Dwemer ruins in general. So now weather and lighting is covered, our environments is lush and unique, we have our base textures, so now's the fun bit. And that's all the smaller random mods that only change 1 or 2 things that I like to sprinkle on top of everything we already have, or some slightly bigger changes that overwrite some specific textures in our base packs, such as our first mod, Northern Ice, to give the glaciers more shine and realism. FYX 3D Shack Kit Roofs just to give a new nice mesh to the regular old shack we've seen for 10 years. DK's realistic Nord ships is a fantastic mesh replacer for all the sailboats and ships in the game. The Mask of Clavicus Vial also gives a fresh new feel to one of the game's most famous items. The Occult texture pack just gives scrolls some more flair, along with its paper for books. The lockpicks too have been slightly changed to be more unique, and JS Common Cages aims to replace the mesh of both the hanging cage in the Imperial Ruins and the larger multi-person cage found across the game. And better blended mushrooms fixes the mismatch saw in vanilla. Beautiful sigils of Shalador just enhances the sigils somewhat, and El Sopa's quiver's redone for your archer characters. A lore-friendly but not too risky Dibella statue replacer, and a small change to the vampire dust ingredient. A new mod to enhance Whiterun doors, and 2 mods to add to carriages around the game, changing its texture and adding some additional meshes. And now is the collection of amazing shrine replacers, beginning with the Daedric Prince Malakath. Her scene now has a really nice shrine which can also be found in a secret location, and the Tree Imperiite shrine has been replaced with a new statue. Boethia has been given a facelift to reflect her cunning malice more vividly, and Clavicus Vial has been given a higher poly, more Greek-appearing figure, along with Barbas of course. Mephala has finally been given a real statue in-game reflecting her web-spinning galore. Hermaeus Mora too has been provided with a real statue in honour of his knowledge. Sheogorath, the fabled Prince of Madness, now adorns a new statue. And Sanguine is probably one of my favourites, holding his staff and a glass of wine. And finally is the last 4 Daedric gods in Azora, whom has a new shrine on the Windhelm border. Vermina now has a real statue in her tower north of Dawnstar. And finally, Molag Bal has a new threatening figure located in Castle Volkihar. And my actual favourite, Namira, who just looks creepy AF. And that's going to do it for this video. As same as the last one, this list of mods is too big to put in the description, so see my Discord server for the full list, including a few extra mods which didn't make it into this video. Like Smim, if you were wondering where that was. Also, the day after this video is uploaded, I'm releasing a guide on my Patreon for my previous graphical video, and one for this video in a few days after that when I finish it. So if you want to support the channel, then I'm trying to give those that do some nice benefits to say thank you. Also, thanks once again to Warhammer for helping make videos like these possible, so you can check out their links in the description below. But that's all from me, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.